Hello everybody. Just today, again, we're going to talk about some tips and tricks about IELTS speaking test. Definitely, this is everybody's dream in order to get a great score in a speaking test. So, by listening very carefully to this podcast, so definitely you will be able to answer the questions properly and immediately. Are you ready? When you speak English, how easy is it for people to understand you? Is it your pronunciation as clear as it can be? Throughout the IELTS speaking test, the examiner will listen to you. One of the areas in which you're assessed is pronunciation. The examiner should be able to understand every word that you say in the exam. In other words, your pronunciation must be clear. Let's talk about how you can improve the clarity of your speech. There are some useful strategies you can use. First, think about your volume. Make sure that you speak loudly enough for the examiner to hear you. There is no need to shout, but don't whisper or mumble either. Next, think about your posture. Hold your head up and make some eye contact with the examiner while you are speaking. Don't stare at the floor. Think about your pace. It's important to have a natural pace, so try not to speak too quickly or too slowly. Take the time to pause occasionally and take a breath where it's appropriate to do so. At the end of the sentence or before beginning a new idea, for instance. But don't take a long pause in the middle of a sentence. Pay attention to the endings of words, especially the consonants like T or D. Don't leave your words unfinished. And finally, when learning new vocabulary, remember, learn the pronunciation of the word as well as its spelling and meaning. Now let's look at how you can make your meaning clear by stressing the right words. When you're asked a question in the IELTS speaking test, it's not enough to simply answer yes or no. You should try to give extended answers if you can. When giving extended answers, it's important to think about where you place the stress in your sentences. In other words, which words should be emphasized so that your meaning is clear. Emphasizing keywords helps meaning to come through. So, how do you know which words to stress in order to make your meaning clear? Well, let's look at a simple example together. Let's say that in part 3 of the IELTS speaking test, you've been having a discussion about shopping and the examiner asks you a question about the future of shopping. A response, you say, in the future? Well, I guess shopping will continue to change. Can you see how the words that you stress help you enhance your meaning? Now, you wouldn't say in the future, well, I guess shopping will continue to change, because this would be very unnatural and also unclear. So, to answer the questions, which words should you stress? Well, there are certain words that are usually stressed in sentences. These words are known as content words. They include nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. They do not usually include grammar words such as articles or prepositions. So that's a look at how we can use clear pronunciation in part 3 of the IELTS speaking test. Thank you for your attention.